Oh, hey, honeys. Welcome back to the Mission Empowered podcast with me, your host, Emily. Hope you are all having, oh my God, a great day. If anybody just watched me do that intro with jazz hands, what the actual F? Ta-da! Christ. Okay, shall we go? So, I'm not going to lie, it is so freaking hard to do a podcast around like health, fitness, and fat loss around in December. Like not even in December, but like 2 weeks out from Christmas. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to talk about? Nobody is interested in fat loss this time of year. And I've already done the how to not get fat in December one, which covers a lot. So honestly, I am not scraping the barrel, but I had to really think, right, what can I do to help people out 2 weeks before the big day? Next week podcast, really easy one. I'm going to talk about my lessons that I've learned in 2024, but we're not quite there yet. So hopefully this one is going to be short, sweet, straight to the point, and give you some golden balls to take away with, and that can help you over the next 2 weeks. So these are my favorite Christmas food hacks, and again, it's probably delving into a little bit more of the how to just not press the fucking button. Okay, you can press the fucking button on Christmas Day. One day of indulgent chocolate for breakfast, Bailey's for lunch, all that jazz. Absolutely sound, okay? No issues. It's Christmas, right? But, I feel like Christmas gets earlier every year, okay? The temptations come out earlier every year. So I want to give you some little food hacks, swaps, that are going to help you just keep things in check for the next 2 weeks. So let's go. It's also bloody 8 o'clock at night. This whole baby mum work life is causing my routine workload to just be scatty AF. So bear with if I get my words jumbled. Right. Number one food hack is just keep prioritizing protein. Now, the reason I say this, yes, we know protein's great for hair, skin, nails, muscle building, but it's really good for filling us up. Okay, what happens at Christmas? We get inundated with high palatable, high calorie dense food. That mean with low volume. That means we are gonna overindulge if we are not being filled up. How easy is it to smash a box of Pringles? Do half a celebration box while you're just watching the telly. It's easy. The big biscuit tins come out, okay? If we are having this stuff in our house and in our environment and we're not prioritizing being full, you are going to devour these empty calories and still feel hungry, which is then going to lead us to feeling sluggish as well and wanting more of them. So just make sure you are prioritizing protein at meals. Okay, no, it's not fun and it's not sexy, but it will absolutely help you go from eating 22 celebrations to maybe eating two. So for me, yeah, I've got the celebrations out, but I am still making sure that my breakfast is my protein shake, my lunch is my slow cooker chicken. And what I am then doing is if I want a celebration, I'm like, right, don't eat it before your lunch, eat it after. And I can keep it to 1-2 celebrations. I really can. And I did used to be the person that would eat the half tub of celebrations, and that girl probably still is in me. But, for me, I know I've done this, years, going back years over Christmas now. I just know how easy it is to fall down the trap of eating that processed stuff. So I make sure that I'm still prioritizing my protein at them meals, even when it comes to things like, Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, if we're going out for a meal. There is no wavering from my protein shake for breakfast, because once you start the day well, you're more inclined to keep going well. Okay. Even yesterday, I bought from Aldi the little pastries that you put in the oven and they come out like fresh and they're amazing. But I knew that if I had one of them for my breakfast on its own, I'd be starving, I'd get this sugar hit and it'd probably just spiral. So I had my protein shake and then I had one of them about 11 o'clock with the coffee. Okay, so it's just making these sensible things. Do not drop your protein, girls. Think of having, your yogurt or a shake for breakfast or your eggs for breakfast. Lunches, keep going for the chicken, even prepping. If you know that you're sort of losing that inspiration at the moment to like eat healthy and eat well, do a batch cook. Again, this has helped me. I batch cook on a Sunday, loads of chicken in the slow cooker. So I know that's in the fridge. So when the time comes and I'm like, oh, do I just want some fancy cheese and crackers? I'm like, no, best eat that chicken that I've already cooked, because best eat that chicken I've already cooked, because otherwise it's going to go waste. Okay, so keep prioritizing your protein. At every chance you get, eating out, think high protein. Yeah, before you're eating out, high protein, low calorie, whatever. But do not let that protein slip, because that is going to lead to, again, not feeling full and overeating on all the processed stuff. Hack number 2. Oh God, we're in here. I'm normally still waffling 5 minutes at the start. Hack number 2 is your vegetables. And again, we're sort of like not we're coming away from, fat loss hacks. The reason you want to prioritize your veg at this time of year is for the vitamins, the minerals, and the fiber. Okay, coming into where we've got more alcohol going on, we've got more processed food. All of this can contribute to us feeling sluggish, our gut not feeling that great. And when our gut doesn't feel that great, our mood's not that great, our sleep's not that great. If we can make sure that we're getting enough fiber in and enough vitamins and minerals in our gut to keep our gut happy, you're going to feel better. It's going to keep your poop on form. The amount of people I speak to over Christmas, clients, when I ask them about digestion, they say, I've been clogged up. Alcohol, yes, it's a diuretic at the start, but then we can see prolonged like drinking, like days and days, your gut doesn't feel that good at all, or your poo becomes a bit like diarrhea. Is that a word? But anyway, we're rolling with it. So by keeping your veggies up, you're going to help your mood, you're going to help your gut, you're going to keep everything nice and flowy in your digestive system. And hair, skin, nails, all of that good stuff comes from having these good, solid foods. Okay, good, solid, healthy food. So just make sure you are keeping your veggies up, same as I would advise for normal time of year. When you're having a meal, it's not complete unless it's got a side of veg or some fruit in it. Okay, so hack number 2 is don't drop your veggies out, purely from the fact that you want to not feel terribly sluggish, and you don't want to get to January feeling like shit. And we know that all the goodness that comes from these veg can lead to us feeling really sluggish, not going to the toilet properly. And I think, what I'm trying to do is just save you a little bit, save you by looking at things that we can add in rather than take away, because we all know Christmas is not the time that we start to limit things. But if we can make sure that we're adding on top of the good stuff, that's what's going to save us. So number 2, keep your veggies in. Number 3, right on cue, water. I say this to my clients all the time. Go and have a wine. Just don't swap your water for wine. Me and my best mate, and we've always done this on nights out, if you're going on a night out or you're having a few drinks, we always look at each other and we're like, water. And we'll go to the bar, ask for a pint of water and down it. And then we're like, okay, back to Prosecco now then. So just make sure, I'm not even going to say have your water like I would normally do and sip on it. You probably won't sip on it if you've got the choice between a glass of Prosecco or some water or a Baileys or whatever your tipple is. So just make sure that when you think, oh God, I haven't drank any water, go and get a pint glass and down it, get it in you. For the same reasons as the veggies, if we're dehydrated, we feel sluggish, our gut isn't happy, we're then not happy. Goes without saying, a hangover, the reason we feel so terrible, a big reason why we feel so terrible is because alcohol, as I said, is a diuretic. It dehydrates you. So if you can stay on top of your water while you're on the piss, you are actually going to help yourself not have that bad of a hangover either. Okay, so again, make sure that you are putting that water in, or whenever you go to the bar to order a drink, order a little glass of water and down it. However you want to do it, just don't let yourself down on the water, because it's such a simple habit, but it's so powerful as well. And the same reason, going into January, you don't want to be going into January thinking, God, I fell out the habit of drinking water, and have to focus on that. So making sure you are keeping that water in. Something I've started doing now, although I have my Brit around the house, is I've gone and just bought a 1.5 litre bottle, as you can see, it's empty on screen now. And I have that because I, as well, like me being a mum now, mum brain, and thinking about Eliza all the time, it's very easy to forget to drink water, especially the first month. I found it quite hard. I'm all right now. But what I was doing was I was filling this 1.5 litre bottle up and thinking, right, I've got to get through that because I know I'll probably drink pints of water here and there, but that probably accumulates to 1 litre or 1.5 litres throughout the day. If I can get through this as well, I know that I'm nearing that good quota of 2 to 3 litres. So again, if you're worried, or this is one that I do, if I'm ever going to stay at family's house or friend's house, I always take my own water, always have one, because I hate tap water and I'm a bit weird like that. But I always take water. God, I remember when I used to go to Ollie's mum's at Christmas, we used to stop at the shop and I used to buy like 6 litres of water. What a saddo. 6 litres of water because I was so worried about having to drink out the tap. I don't know why I'm like this. I am. But yeah, so I always make sure I have my own water. So if you go into someone's house, go into friends and families, take your own water with you, so you know, no excuses. You've got your water there and you can drink it. But yeah, water, like I said, numerous things. Great if you're drinking alcohol, going to keep you hydrated. If we're eating more processed foods, you know, even I'm talking here about like the little oven pickany bits that we have, eating out where we're having a lot of fats, a lot of salts, crackers, crisps, all of this stuff comes under that processed umbrella. Your gut doesn't like it. It doesn't move through your digestive system very well. The more water we can keep putting in, the more that's going to move smoothly. You're not going to be constipated. You're not going to be bloated. So, number 3, drink your water. Okay. Number 4, you like this one, bevy swaps. Okay. So, it's Christmas. It's wine it's everything season, isn't it? You know, anything. But if you, from 2 reasons, right? One, from a calorie perspective, if you want to save calories and you want to be a little bit cautious of the waistline, shall we say, your best swaps, and you've probably heard this time and time again, are going to be clear spirits with a low calorie mixer. The best low calorie mixer, fresh lime and soda water. It's nothing, okay? Even better than like your Diet Cokes and your Diet Lemonades and stuff. Fresh lime and soda, you're getting a bit of hydration in there, obviously in the water, but I hate that as a selling point because it's bollocks, because you're drinking it with alcohol, right? It's counteracting each other. But it is like a mixture in its purest form. The fresh lime, again, a bit of citrus acid in there. I would love to tell you like that's good for you, but again, I'm not going to. I'm just thinking it's just more pure. Okay, there's no health benefits of drinking vodka, lime, and soda, but we are going to say it is better than drinking like vodka and full fat Coke, or I don't know what other mixes are. That's terrible, isn't it? But then you've got your things like your beers, your ciders, your red wines. They're all quite hefty on the calories. Just bear in mind, you know, as a whole, glass of wine, you know, 130 calories, a glass of Prosecco, around about 85 calories. But then you've got your clear spirits with your mixes. I think you're looking at about 70 calories. If you've listened to my episodes on alcohol, you will know that I'm not a big, it's just calories in, calories out on alcohol. It's not. Okay. There's lots of other things that factor in, but it is Christmas. A lot of people do enjoy a drink. And so we're looking at what's that phrase? Lesser of two evils. I think that's what it's called. Quite intense. Like, if we can just do anything just to be a little bit better, I would say stick to your Prosecco's, you know, your little glass of Prosecco's in about 80 calories. They're the lightest on the wine front. Your low calorie beers, I think it's like Bud Light. I'm not like a low calorie beer drinker, but you can get lower calorie beers now. Ciders, they're like 300 calories. So if that's the only thing you drink, you go for it, but there's not really an alternative to that. And then your low calorie, and then you've got your spirits with your low calorie mixes, to just watch the waistline a little bit. The only thing I would say, if you're not a big drinker, right, and Christmas is the only time you drink, my personal opinion would be have whatever the F you want. Because if you're only having 3 or 4 drinks and you don't drink that much, and you're really looking forward to having your higher calorie drinks, we're just going to say cider because that is the one off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of, right? Then just have them and enjoy them and move on, okay? Alcohol, point blank, not good for us. So when I see people saying, oh, swap this for that, swap this for that, I'm like, okay, I get it, but let's not emphasize too much on the swaps because that ain't the big problem. The bigger problem is the aftermath of the alcohol and how it makes us feel. So if you're going in, just go in and enjoy it and then move on. If you do drink things like, your full fat Cokes, your Alco Pop wicked things, your ciders, it's the sugar in them drinks that like doubles the hangover as well. And obviously that's where the calories are. So just be aware that making them simple swaps might also not only help the waistline a little bit, but also might help the hangover. And again, like I said, for me, the vodka and fresh lime and soda is like the go-to. Not for me, I said for me, it's a go-to. What I advise is I actually don't like vodka lime, but I just don't drink for spirits really. I was saying this to my mum earlier. I'm a Prosecco girl and then I'm done. So yeah, moving on. Anyway, clear spirits, best option, and then like your proseccos, your wines and stuff. Mulled wine, very heavy on the calories, but again, if you'd enjoy a mulled wine this time of year, have it and move on. You're probably looking again I would say about between 200 and 400 calories. They are quite heavy because there's a lot of sugar in them. But yeah, if you just have it like the one, just enjoy it. But that's not really a hack, is it? Sorry, the number 4 bevy swaps was not really a hack. You probably already know to go for the clear spirit, but maybe the clear spirit, the spirit with soda water and fresh lime, maybe you've never tried that and now you will, and it's going to be a game changer. So I'll take that as a win. All right, number 5, bit of a conventional one, but I'm putting it out there, is fasting. Okay, so when we talk about fasting is eating within a time frame, a window of time. So you've probably all heard of like the 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours, you eat between 8 hours, normally 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock at night. I am not going to tell you to eat within an eating window type of fasting. What I am going to recommend is, let's say you have a big food day, okay? Sometimes a lot of the advice is just go back to eating regular the next day. Now that can be really, really helpful, and eat the same breakfast and stuff. But if you've had a big food day and sometimes you wake up the next day and you're like, oh God, I actually feel sick. Like I'm still full from the day before. There is nothing wrong with pushing your first meal a few hours back. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not doing it out of guilt of I ate so much yesterday, I've woke up starving, I'm not eating today. No. Your advice would be to eat normal, get up and have a breakfast and move on. But I know for me, sometimes I've gone out for meals and I've woke up the next day and been like, I'm really not hungry. Like, I'm not hungry. I don't need that extra energy. I don't need that extra fuel. You can implement, like I said, that fasting mentality of just pushing that first meal back. And again, making sure the first meal isn't a chocolate reindeer and it is, a substantial meal. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And I think that can be really helpful this time of year. Again, fasting gets a lot of slate, window timings get a lot of slate in, but they can be useful if we're having certain days where we're eating over our like maintenance calories, or we're consuming more food than our body actually requires. We don't want to get into the habit of then force feeding the next day. If you need that little break from food just for a few hours extra than normal, focus on that. Make sure you get loads of water in that time, and just give yourself that little break to process and digest that food from the day before with plenty of water going in. And that can help reduce things of like bloatedness, sluggishness. It just gives your body a little bit of break from digesting loads of highly processed foods, which our bodies find more difficult to process. So things like your pates, your creamy mushrooms, your pastry little vol-au-vent things, they're all quite, heavily processed with fats and carbs. Not saying they're not yummy, not saying don't eat them. I'm just telling you, your body finds it difficult to digest them compared to your average chicken and veg Okay, so if you do wake up and you feel like, oh, I've overconsumed and I just feel like I need a little bit of break, what I would recommend is, yeah, just give yourself that little break. Maybe go for a little walk, kickstart that digestion, and smash a load of water, and then make sure your first meal is, something easily digestible, and it's not going straight back in for the cheesecake or a chocolate reindeer, as we said before. All right, number 6, 3 more to go. Number 6 food hack: out of sight, out of mind. The reason I say this is because, again, Christmas, everybody, me included, only on Christmas Day, actually. So you might have heard me say this before. When I used to live with my mum would have all the chocolates out. She still does now, and I love that. I love that for when I go there, because I know I'm going into the living room and I can see celebrations, quality streets, blah, 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 and she has them out on the table. If I still lived at home, she'd be going through a box a week, because in sight, in mouth, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, if we see something and we're constantly getting that trigger of either want one of them, or the worst one, don't eat that, don't eat that. What happens? All we want to do is eat the thing. Okay, or all we end up doing is just going, I'll just have one, I'll just have one. But then you've done that 10 times in one day without even realizing it. So if you've got your things like your bickies, your chocolates, try not to leave them out, or try not to leave them, for example, in the tea and coffee cupboard. Because if you're making a brew 3-4 times a day, and every time you open that drawer, the biscuits are there, the celebrations are there, you're gonna eat them, you're gonna just keep nippling at them, or they're gonna be in your brain. Pop them away. So we do this thing where like Holly does any of this, me, I buy something for Christmas, maybe, over Christmas each week on the shopping, so it's not so overwhelming when you come to your Christmas shop. But I put it under the stairs. So your things like your mini cheddars, your chocolate coins, your wines, and I put it all under the stairs. So because I'm never going in that under the stairs cupboard, only to get a plastic bag out on a Sunday for the shop. So because they're under the stairs and I haven't seen them, I don't think, oh God, them biscuits are there and they're open, and I want one. I don't even think. Actually, it's quite a nice surprise when I go in there on Christmas Eve and see all the shit that I've bought unnecessarily. But anyway, which will take me on to number 7 now. But yeah, so just remember, out of sight, out of mind. And this can be quite tricky to do when you're in work. But again, if you're in work and you've got cookies in your eyesight, just move them. Just go and ask and say, does anyone mind if I move these on the back shelf? People will probably be thankful, because they're all probably chinning them. So a really good hack: out of sight, out of mind. Pop your Christmas stuff in a cupboard until next week, if you find that you're just eating it and replenishing it. Because let's be real, I'm on the second tub of celebrations, but we did have them since October, so give myself due. Excuse me. But yeah, out of sight, out of mind is a really, really good hack. If you find yourself just mindlessly eating bits and bobs, pop it away on top of the kitchen, under the stairs, in the loft, whatever, until you're like, right, actually, I want to get them out now. Okay, number 7, plan your food treats. Okay, this is where I've backfired a little bit. I've shot myself in the foot already. But planning what you're going to eat on your treats. So if you're having your friends round and you're doing like a festive board, like, writing a list before you go to the shop. Okay, because going to the shop and being surrounded by all this temptation, you're gonna overbuy, you're gonna overeat. Whereas if you sit and plan, right, I want some of them vol-au-vent things, and then we'll have some other little things, like, and plan what you want, or put in your group chat, what does everyone fancy? And then you've got time, because this is what all it's about, is having time before you go in that shop to think, okay, that's plenty, that's enough, that's what we want. Because if you go in the shop, it's something to do with our mind. Like, once we've made that decision, we're more inclined to stick to it. If we go into the shop and we are like, I don't really know what I want, you will overbuy. How many times, which is why I'm so anal just about doing a weekly shop in general, we always have a list. It's the same list every bloody week. But I'm telling you now, if I ever go into Aldi without that list, our shopping, not only do I buy more, the bloody price is like double, because you go in with an open mind. So when you go in with an open mind, you're open to things going in your trolley, in your basket. Okay, so plan your food treats in. Okay, what do we want on this day? Do we want to have a night where we're having a cheese board? Okay, what cheeses do we want? Like, okay, so we'll have them 3 cheeses, crackers and a chutney. But if you go to Asda and you'll end up buying 6 cheeses, 2 different types of crackers and 3 different chutneys. Okay, so have the plan of your treats, what you want. So you're not overbuying, you're then not over consuming. Because when we overbuy, what happens? It's leftovers, then we just eat it for the sake of eating it. Okay, so food hack number 7, just try and be a little bit planned, a little bit organised. The reason I said I shot myself in the foot, which I haven't, is when I said about I buy things and put them under the stairs. And actually, when I go to Christmas Eve, I don't really know what I've got. But this leads me on to number 8. It's fine. The giveaway. This is the last hack now, okay? So, because this is definitely what I do. I've done it the last few Christmases because we hosted ours. So whatever's left, I'm like, you take that, you take that, you take that. Because what happens at the end of December, coming into January, everyone says, oh, I've got so much food in the house, or I've got these sweets, or I've got this cake. Pack it up, give it away. Give it to your neighbours, give it to your friends at work, give it to your family. Because see how everything ties in. I love this. I love how a plan comes together. But if you are overeating, if you're overbuying, and then you're undereating it all and saving it all, you're then it's gonna be in sight, it's gonna be in mind, you're gonna overeat for no reason. Okay, so you're gonna feel crap. So if you're hosting like me and you're like not worried but are thinking, oh crap, we've definitely got too much stuff here, just start, giving it away or invite people round. We've got loads of food left. You want to drop in for a catch up and I'll shove cake down your throat that I don't want, But yeah, pack it up, give it away. Even, this is going to sound tight, but we'll go with it. The kids' chocolate. If the kids are over chocolate, put them in a bag, give them away. Or the other one is put them in a Tupperware, out of sight, out of mind. When it gets to the next week and there's no chocolate left in the house, then you can be like, oh, actually, we'll get a couple down. But it's the same thing again. If we are just left with open, 79 different boxes of chocolate, selection boxes, crisps. If it's there, you will eat it. So either pack it up and put it away or give it away, which I always think is the best option because it's just gone. Okay. Guys, that is my festive food hacks. You're gonna have to tell me whether this is a good episode or not. I know it was short, but I was scrambling. I was like, what? Because I've got this thing in my head. I have to do a podcast. Like, it's my standard. It's what I do. And I was like, what the hell can I talk about 10 days before Christmas? So let's just run through them. So you've got this right in your brain, fresh in your brain, positive mental attitude towards food at Christmas. Number 1, don't give up your protein. Try your best to start your day at least with your protein. And then before all your treats, just think, have I had a meal with protein in? It'll save you, and it'll save you on your hangover because protein helps stabilize blood sugar levels as well. Number 2, don't skip your veggies and your fruits. Okay, remember, vitamins, minerals, fiber, good for that gut. Number 3, water. Get a big bottle if you need to. It's going to save you. It's going to make you feel fresh, not sluggish. And it's going to save you when it comes to January, that you're not going to have to pick that habit back up. Number 4 was the awful one, was the bevy swaps. Okay, you've got it. Vodka, lime, soda if you really want to, but if you're not a big drinker and this is your time of year to enjoy yourself, have a few, don't sweat it and move on. Number 5, fasting. If you're over consuming, you feel like you need a little break, give yourself, say, right, 3 hours, and then remember, it's important, not just the fasting, the meal that comes after the fasting is important. Number 6, out of sight, out of mind. Get it away, don't leave it out yet, and once it's done, I've gone too far. Out of sight, out of mind. So once it's done, put it away. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Number 7, plan your food treats. Don't overbuy. Don't go in with an open mind. Go in with a plan. Woman on a mission. Buy this, buy that. That way you're going to save not only money, but also not over consuming as well. Number 8, the giveaway. Once you're done, pack it up, pass it on. Perfect. Pack it up, pass it on. Love that saying. Guys, tell me if this helps. Tell me. And like I said, next week is all about lessons I've learned in 2024. Considering I've had a baby, that should be a good one. I hope this helps. let me know, and I will speak to you all soon. Okay, lots of love. Bye bye.